Welcome to the Comicstorian channel, where we take some of your favorite pop culture elements and break them down into audio dramas. We basically take graphic novels and then comic books and the synopsis to a movie or your favorite video game lore, and we turn it into a format that you can listen to on the road or enjoy to keep up with your regular life schedule while knowing what is happening. Today we're going to be bringing you the Batman reveal, the wake up. So to quickly catch you up, Batman was getting married to Catwoman, and it was going to bring him true happiness in his life. But then she decided to call off the wedding, and he discovered that all of this was orchestrated by Bane and his own father, Thomas Wayne. It turns out that Bane and Thomas Wayne were working to make a happy Batman so that they can rip it all away from him at the last second. And when Batman discovered that Thomas Wayne was involved, his supposedly dead father, but actually from a different universe where he is the actual Batman, was behind this, at that moment he was knocked out and placed into a nightmare state. Well, he just woke up. And if you enjoy discussions of nightmares, mythology, and history, please consider checking out our Tales of Earth channel. It's a side project that we started up where we talk about conspiracies, mythology, and things like nightmares. And you can come on over and join us by clicking the link down below. But if you just want to see what's going on with Batman, I have that playlist there as well. Either way, today, let's get into Batman 70 through 74. Everything is a dream. Everything that Batman has seen, everything that he's been through, it's all been a dream. No, it was a nightmare. A nightmare caused by Scarecrow's fear toxins. Focus on that. This is a dream. This is a dream, and it is time to wake up. And Batman screams, "Ah!" as he breaks free from all of the wires and tubes connected to him. But as he does, he hears a voice. Director of the company wakes early for a morning flight. He realizes that he forgot some papers at work, and he goes there. In the office, he meets the night watchman, who is leaving for him. The watchman stops the director and tells him that he shouldn't fly. "I had a dream last night," he says. "I saw you crash. I saw you die." The director heeds the advice, and sure enough, the plane goes down. The next day, the director returns and gives the watchman a generous bonus, then fires him. Why did the director fire the watchman? Batman stumbles out of his mechanical prison and without saying a word, grabs the Riddler by the head and slams it down onto his knee with all of his strength, sounding off a loud crunch. The Riddler falls to the ground, gasping for air, and Batman leaves as he says, "The night watchman said he had a dream last night. That meant he was sleeping on the job." Batman continues to walk through Arkham Asylum, brutally beating every villain that Bane has released, calling out to him, "Bane!" Batman asks, "Do you think this is enough? Nightmares? Do you expect me to curl up into a ball and cry for my mommy? Is this the marvelous plan? After all the years of being humiliated, time and time again being broken down, and your answer to it all was give me bad dreams? Do you even know what my life is? Do you have any conception of what I've been through? You challenge me with nightmares! I live the nightmare! Don't you understand? I'm Batman! I am the nightmare!" In the next room, Mr. Freeze points his freeze gun at Batman, stating, Batman grabs the gun from Freeze's trembling hands, telling him, "You were a great professor, a smart man, so consider this. And let me ask you this. Wasn't it all a waste? Speaking scientifically." Freeze slowly steps back, stating, but before he could say freeze, Batman punches him, asking, "Isn't this easier?" The next area that Batman walks into, he shouts, "Scarecrow, show yourself! You smell of fear!" Scarecrow jumps down from the ceiling, spraying Batman in the face with his toxin. But Batman throws him off his back and into the wall. The hallway fills with the toxin, clouding Scarecrow's vision. And as he gets back up, he asks, "Batman?" Through the haze, Batman tells him, "It was your formula." And Scarecrow tells him, "You just took enough gas to panic a herd of elephants. As your doctor, I would strongly advise lying down. I would advise you surrender." Batman tells him, "I owe you for the insight on the new formula. I owe you for all the fun." He then raises up through the smoke, and seconds later, Scarecrow's screams can be heard all throughout Arkham. After that, Batman looks up at Amygdala and Solomon Grundy. The two men loom over Batman, and he cracks his knuckles. "Yeah, okay." But he doesn't groan as he gets up, he laughs. He laughs as he walks away from the knocked out bodies of the two hulking monsters. After that, Batman punches Two-Face into the ground, and the Harvey side cries out, "Please, no more, I surrender!" But the Two-Face side shouts, "Touch me again and I'll kill you!" Batman punches again, telling him, "Look, I've always liked you, Harvey. I can trust you, so I'm gonna trust you to deliver this message." He throws Two-Face against a wall and he asks again, "Can you do it?" Harvey tells him, "Yes, please stop." And Two-Face yells, "Go to hell!" Batman grabs Two-Face by the collar, slamming him into the wall, yelling, "I was talking to Harvey!" Batman gets close and through his teeth he tells Harvey to give him a message. "Tell him that I wish to speak to him today, but I just woke up, so I'm a little tired. I'm going home, in my city. But tomorrow, I'm coming back, and I'm coming back with my army. So tell him, Harvey, tell him tomorrow we will talk." Batman releases his grip and he lets Two-Face slide to the ground. He walks out the doors. But later that night, as Batman sits at his computer, he hears the same words over and over again. "Intruder, intruder, intruder." He rubs his head as he looks up and then reluctantly grabs his mask, putting it on before walking upstairs. As he walks into the dining room, Bane sits at one end of the table, raising a glass. "Welcome home, Bruce." However, it isn't just Bane. Right behind him, in his own cowl and mask, is Thomas Wayne, Batman's father from another world, standing there with his arms folded. Bane tells him, "Please, have a seat." But Batman stands there telling him, "I'm gonna break your damn back." Bane grits his teeth, but he holds himself back, telling Alfred, "Maybe Bruce would feel more comfortable if we served him some food." Alfred says, "Yes, Master Bane." As Alfred walks over to Batman, he asks, "Would you care for some soup?" Batman doesn't answer, smacking the tray out of Alfred's hands. He then grabs the table, throwing it, calling out to Bane, "I'm gonna break your damn back!" Bane laughs and Batman punches him, with Bane punching back. The mansion wasn't the first place Batman went to. No, he made good on his word, and he assembled an army, and they struck. Except the hospital they attacked. It wasn't Arkham. At least it wasn't the Arkham that Bane had built up. After the attack on the hospital, Batgirl says that she saw it with her own eyes. She got into their servers, deep into their servers. There's no record of anyone getting out of their cells. Bane was a wreck before he was beaten. Now he's comatose. Everything that Batman saw, everything that he claimed in the nightmares, never happened. Batman tells her, "I saw my father. My father hurt Alfred. Talk to him. He'll tell you." Batgirl tells him she did, at great length even. Alfred never saw Thomas Wayne. He never got hurt. He said after coming home he was worried, ever since Catwoman. And Batman shouts, "This is not about her!" Tim steps back, telling him, "You're in a lot of pain right now. We get that. It's okay. That's just who we are." Tim reaches out and he places his hand on Batman's shoulder, telling him, "You have to let us in. Let us help, Bruce." Batman stares and tells him, "I don't want your help. I don't need a damn thing." He pushes Tim's hand off and he punches him right in the face. But back in the current timeline, at the mansion, lightning strikes and Batman jumps into attack. He punches Bane over and over again, each punch hitting harder than the last. Bane grabs Batman by the neck, but Batman breaks free, headbutting Bane with enough force to even knock him down. Blood begins to drip from the wound on his forehead, and as Bane lays there, he opens his eyes. He allows Batman the small victory, and he gets back to his feet, wrapping his arms around Batman's neck. He drags him through the house, throwing him into the portrait of him and his parents, and it shatters. Batman gets up, wiping the blood from his mouth, putting his fists ready to get back into it. He charges forward, knocking Bane into the next room. But Bane punches back, punching harder with each and every punch. The two go back and forth for what feels like hours until Bane kicks Batman in the head. Bane picks him up by the cape, slamming him headfirst into the wall, stunning him. Bane then picks up Batman's lifeless body, and he brings him down to his knee with a thundering crack. As Bane tosses Batman's body to the ground, Thomas steps out of the shadows, watching every second of what just happened. The following night, Batman is strapped to the back of a horse, while Thomas checks the lines to make sure that he's secure. He sings to himself as he hops up on the saddle, and he pulls on the reins to get the horse going. They begin to walk forward. Over Thomas's singing, the sound of a coffin being dragged in the sand can be heard behind him. The next morning, Thomas wakes up to a figure standing over him, and he tells him morning. The ninja helps Thomas up, and he tells him good morning. "We are the death of the desert." Thomas tells him, Yeah, I know who you are. There's only 5 of you. Do you think that's enough?" The ninja tells him, "You aren't a Batman." And Thomas punches him, telling him, "I am now." Thomas continues to sing to himself, beating the ninjas until finally the last falls, and he carries on with his journey. Night falls, and Thomas stops to eat, listening to the crackle of the campfire. He eats his beans when suddenly Bruce's eyes open up and he shoots up screaming, "Bane!" Thomas places his hand on Batman's shoulder, telling him, "It's all right. You've been through a lot. Just remember what you've been taught." Batman turns back, swinging his tied-up arm, shouting, "Bane!" And Thomas grabs the punch, punching him back, telling him, "It's okay. You can be scared. It just means that you have to fight that fear." Batman stumbles back and Thomas kneels down, telling him, "Look, it's over. You've been defeated, broken, body and soul, but that's behind you now. It's time to rebuild. We're going to show them how strong you really are. There's nothing to worry about. Father's got you." The sun begins to rise, and Thomas readies the horse, stating that he did his best to put the spine back together so that they could ride for now. Batman rubs his head, asking, "Where are we?" And Thomas tells him, "The Middle Sands, about 100 miles out from Kadam." Batman scratches his head, wondering, why? And Thomas tells him, "You're the world's greatest detective. When the drug wears off, you'll understand." Batman climbs onto the saddle, asking, "What's in the coffin?" And Thomas tells him, "You'll understand that too." The two travel day and night, each morning Thomas fighting off another group of ninjas. And as they get closer and closer to their destination, one morning, Batman asks, "Those ninjas, those are Ra's al Ghul's personal guard. That means that we're going to the Name Pit? The only reason why Al Ghul would send the death would be to prevent people from ever going to the pit." Thomas laughs. "You're getting it now. I'm so damn proud of you, my boy." Then it hits Batman. The coffin. It's his mother. They're dragging Martha Wayne. Thomas stops the horse and he turns back, telling him, "We have come a long way. We've bled, we've burned, we've earned some rest. A right to go home. And when we do, we're going as a family." Batman stares for a moment and then asks, "Where is it?" Thomas tells him the saddlebag, so Batman reaches down, putting on his mask. Once he's done fitting it, he says, "I remember the blood, the pearls, knowing that I would never see you again. I forsook my life and surrendered to a vow. And now, what was it worth? Where did it get me?" Thomas tells him, "You made your choices, and you saved who you could. You're a good man, and you made your father damn proud, Bruce. But now it's time for the resurrection, for the final end of our plan." The next morning, Batman helps fight off the next group of ninjas, and Thomas makes sure to leave one alive. As he takes up one of the horses, he readies it and asks Batman if he remembers the book that he used to read him back when he was younger, the one about the little animals. Batman stands up, telling him, "The animals in the pit." Thomas goes on telling him, "Yeah, it was a strange book, a horrific thing. All those friendly animals on their way to the church, but they all fall into the pit. They had little contests, meaningless things, but whoever loses, they ate. When there were only two left, one of them tricked the other into killing himself. And in the end, we never find out if that one animal got out of the hole. Never understood why you enjoyed that story so much, Bruce." Later that night, the two stop before the giant hole in the ground, and Thomas says, "This is it. The pit. The demon's proudest secret, where you can trade one life for another." Batman gets off his horse, asking, "How did Mother go in your world? How did it happen?" Thomas tells him, "She didn't die easily. But that's not important. We're here, and soon she will be as well. We will be a family once again." Thomas secures the ropes, and the two slowly climb down, carrying the coffin and the body of the ninja. As they reach the bottom, Thomas picks up the flare that he tossed down, stating, "I needed you at a low point, to be broken. After Bane, after the nightmare, after her. We have a way out. You can have the love and the sympathy that you deserve. You can have back what we've lost. We can be a family, Bruce. We can live a life without the cape. Together." Batman pauses and then tells him, "The reason I liked that book so much was because I idiotically thought that maybe it would change. I was waiting for someone to get out of the pit. I knew that it was impossible, but still, I couldn't give up the hope." And with that, Batman punches his father. They fight, they punch, they bleed. Two Batmen fighting for what they believe in, for hope! And as that struggle rages on, Batman throws Thomas into the coffin. As Thomas gets up, he notices the coffin is filled with stones, and he quietly says, "No." "When?" Batman tells him. "While you were sleeping. Mother is buried in the desert, and you will never find her." Thomas asks him why. And Batman says, "I wasn't sure that I could best you, but I thought at least here, in this hole, I could hurt you enough that we both never would get out." Thomas runs at Batman, throwing a punch, but Batman hooks his arm underneath, landing one right into Thomas's face. He swings again, shouting, "You're broken! We broke you! You can't be Batman! All you can be is my son!" Morning arrives, and the horses neigh, shaking loose the sand from laying down on the ground. One of the horses walks forward as the line leading down tightens and a hand reaches out of the pit. And that is the reveal to everything going on with Batman and Tom King's run. Now it's moving into the city of Bane to tie into the year of the villain. So I hope you enjoyed the storyline. At this point, let me know what you think in the comments down below about the Thomas Wayne run. The Tom King run with Thomas Wayne showing up and everything. Overall, I feel it had its slow moments, but I did enjoy it in the end. Either way, let me know what you think, and make sure you go pick up the next comic book of Batman, because that's the city of Bane. It's time to get his revenge on Bane. Don't you want to do that? Make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit that bell to get yourself a notification of the next video that's coming out. And don't forget, you can also check out our new channel, Tales of Earth, where we cover mythology, conspiracy, and history, and all kinds of crazy stuff over there. Either way, I appreciate your support watching this video and hanging around to the very ending right here. And I'll see you next time right here at Comicstorian.